Hello, everybody. Mara, I'm keeping that cough in there.
Thank you.
Welcome to episode 3 of the Sea Listers. This is Mark speaking. As you know by now, we have Mara over there.
Hello.
I say over there like we aren't in different places right now. And
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sitting right next to you. Psh.
we have a special guest coming all the way from. Are you in Anaheim? Are you
I'm in the Orange County area,
Orange
like
County
around
area?
Irvine. Yeah.
So coming all the way from Orange County, California, my buddy Noah.
Hello, everybody. I ask a lot of questions.
He does. That's a fair point. Noah asks a lot of questions. And Noah actually, he's a big movie guy. That's why we got him on.
Yes.
And he's got his own movie thing on Instagram, Elevator Movie Reviews.
Yep. We review movies in elevators. It probably sounds really weird, but it's oddly charming.
It's a solid channel.
That's my
not
pitch.
channel. Account. Solid account.
Yeah.
I like it.
Thank you.
So he's gonna be joining us here. He was in
We just
episode
love to act
2.
like goofballs. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in episode 2
Glad to
as
be
well.
back.
And so we've got a little different episode here for you. We're not going to review a movie because we just reviewed Men in Black, and you know all of our thoughts on that by now. But we've got a ranking that we're going to do. We're going to do top 10 movies we liked as a kid that are terrible. These movies stink. Some of them we still like, still enjoy, but the movies are bad. But before we get to that, we're going to do our news segment like we always do. Let me get there we go. Gotta get the Google Doc up. And so our first news topic, and Noah, I just realized we forgot to share this with you, so all of this is going to be news to you when you hear it.
I'm great at improvising. Let's go.
I'm glad to hear it. So first off, we've got some Marvel news. Actually, it's 3 straight stories about Marvel. And then something different, and then we go back to Marvel. A lot of Marvel news. And this is coming straight from the horse's mouth of Spider-Man. So Tom Holland, he wants to team up with Doctor Strange in a movie.
Ooh.
Now, Mara and I know we're huge Spider-Man fans. Massive.
Gigantic.
He's both of our favorite superheroes, period. And Mara, I know you kind of liked the Doctor Strange movie. You weren't a huge fan of it, right?
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the beginning, and that kind of
Oh,
did
that's
not make
right.
the rest of it go well.
And Noah, how do you feel about Doctor Strange?
It's like right in the middle tier for me is for Marvel movies. I think the character is just like a less charismatic version of Tony Stark, kind of.
Okay.
And I'm not big on movies that are weaker in the story department, but great with like CGI and stuff.
Yeah.
So I thought the action scenes were good, but it's one of those movies that I just kind of watched it. It had a beginning and an end, middle end, and I was like, okay, on the next one.
Yeah. So I like Doctor Strange. I thought it was a fun movie. I'd say it's probably in the middle tier of Marvel movies for me too, but that just goes to show you how good Marvel movies are.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
no, we talked about this, was it yesterday, where we both love Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah. So
Wonderful movie.
the actual quote, because like I said, Tom Holland said he wanted to do it. His actual quote was, "I'm really wanting to do a team up with Doctor Strange because we're both New Yorkers and I just really like the idea of a science guy being teamed up with a guy who does magic because it totally contradicts everything he knows. And I like the idea
Nice.
that there is real science that Peter Parker talks about, and then there's Doctor Strange gibberish where he's like the time rift and the thing and the thing. So it's kind of fun." That's the most Tom Holland quote I've ever heard.
Yeah.
That's a good pitch.
It is a good pitch. And
Hopefully, he didn't spoil anything because he has a tendency to do so.
Yeah. Well, because actually for a little while they had Benedict Cumberbatch doing interviews with Tom Holland specifically to try and like stop spoilers before they happened.
yeah.
And so that's especially something I think is funny now that he wants to do it with Doctor Strange.
And yeah, they have really good chemistry together. Like those
Yeah.
interviews were always a lot of fun. And I thought they worked well together in Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the whole when they were on the spaceship there,
Oh, yeah. Forgot about
that
that.
part was really good where they had to rescue Doctor Strange. I'm not gonna say spoiler alert. It's fucking Avengers Infinity War. If you haven't
If
seen
you haven't
it,
seen
what are you
it,
doing?
yeah, you're not going to see it.
Yeah. Um So yeah, I'm assuming we all like the idea of this movie.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd
anything
be
with Tom
down.
Holland, I'm kind of down.
Yes, 100%. Spider-Man, always.
Yeah, we love our Spider-Man here. So I like that a lot. I think that could be a lot of fun too. I like what Tom Holland said about the magic and science. That could be
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
really interesting to watch.
Now that I think every movie that's gone by with Marvel, they've gotten more confident and kind of cocky. So they could just like have a movie about Tony Stark taking a dump in a flashback, and that could be like millions and millions of dollars to them. So
Yeah, that's a fair point.
yeah, basically anything they could do, I think I'd watch it.
Yeah, I completely agree. The MCU is just so good.
Mm-hmm.
So good. And we've got more Spider-Man news. Like I said, a lot of Marvel news. Apparently, Kevin Feige, he's interested in making a movie that's a team up between Spider-Man and Venom. Now that Venom is on the big screen in his own movie. Now, Feige says that the ball is in Sony's court because it is. Sony does own the rights to Venom, and they also still own the rights to Spider-Man, technically. So, what do you guys think about the idea of a Spider-Man Venom team-up movie?
I was honestly kind of disappointed that he wasn't in the first Venom movie.
There were rumors he was going to be for a while.
I think they said that he like shot something, but it never actually made it. Like he shot like a small cameo, and it never actually made it to the final cut.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting. I think it'd be also a little bit tough, like tonally, to fit it in, because the Spider-Man movies that they're making now seem a lot more like lighthearted, kind of like John Hughes vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And the Venom movie was just like an acid trip. Like I didn't even know what I was watching.
I wasn't a huge fan of it.
It was like a borderline parody for me.
It was weird.
Yeah.
It was a
That was
weird
weird.
movie. Weird tone.
The Michelle Williams wig,
Oh my god.
like that, like everything was just like what that doesn't make any sense.
It was very strange.
If it's gonna happen, it's gonna have to be a Venom movie. With just
Yeah.
like a small part of Spider-Man in it.
But
Yeah.
they want it to be like, and I hate to compare it to this, but I'm assuming like Spider-Man 3,
Ooh.
where Venom is like, and obviously there were 3 villains in Spider-Man 3, so I don't want to say Venom was the focal point, but he was the main villain in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
So they want it to be like a Spider-Man versus Venom, I guess.
But the versus
straight up.
movies like rarely work out. That's kind of the tough thing there.
Well, maybe not.
Batman vs Superman is rough.
Yeah. But like they sort of want that, I guess. Oh, and trust me, we talked about Spider-Man or Batman versus Superman a little bit on the first episode. I hate that movie.
Yeah, it's very pretentious.
Oh yeah, the Martha thing. Ugh.
Why did you say that name?
Yep, there it is. But so I don't know if I'm as in on this one as I am the Doctor Strange one. I mean, I love Venom. I do. The character, not necessarily the movie. But Venom's one of my favorite Spider-Man villains. So if done right, I could see this working. But see, I would want it to be more like a Spider-Man movie, like the way they're doing Homecoming or Far From Home.
Yeah.
Because I think Far From Home is going to be darker.
Mm-hmm.
At least a little bit, just because of how they're dealing with the death of Tony Stark. Also, not going to say spoiler alert for that. It's the biggest movie of all time, basically. So
just watch it.
Almost.
Yeah. It's going to beat it. That re-release, I'm telling you, it's going to beat Avatar. I'm calling it.
It's a re-release.
I hope so.
They also say there's no additional things, just extra post-credit stuff.
No, there are some deleted scenes.
I thought I read something that said it was just going to be post-credit stuff.
No, I think there's some deleted scenes. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm sort of on the fence about this one.
Yeah, me too. I think what will make the movie good or bad is whether or not Sony is heavily involved, because I feel like Sony just can't make a movie on their own. They need the training wheels that Marvel puts on.
Yeah, because Sony hasn't made a good movie since Spider-Man 2.
And their marketing's terrible.
Oh god, their marketing's awful. They have
Yeah.
no idea how to market a movie.
I feel like I've watched the complete movie before I see the movie because of the trailers most of the time.
Oh yeah.
Yes. And so, from back-to-back Spider-Man stories to back-to-back Venom stories, the sequel's happening. The producer has confirmed that the sequel to Venom is happening. Do you guys care about this?
Not really.
Nah,
The
I
only
don't
reason
care.
I saw the first Venom was because they were showing it for free at my school.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's a fair point. Now,
Anything that's free makes it better.
Exactly.
yeah.
I had to pay money to see it, which was pretty rough.
I would have never otherwise seen it.
Yeah,
So
just a weird movie overall. I don't even know what to say about it.
it is weird, but I don't want to say I'm excited, but I'm fine with a sequel for one reason, and that's Carnage.
Woody Harrelson.
Carnage is dope. I love Carnage. And Woody Harrelson is awesome, and I think he'll do a really good job as Carnage.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only reason I'm kind of looking forward to this movie. I'm very okay with Carnage getting the big screen debut. For real
That's
in
what
this
they-
movie.
Yeah, that's what they should have done in the first one. And I think
Yeah, what was the other one's name? It's like Riot or something?
Riot. Yeah, it was Riot.
Yeah.
It was just basically like a duller version of Venom.
Yeah, it was just a gray Venom.
What I always tell people is it looked like two Coca-Cola slushies being thrown at each other. Like that's what the action scenes looked like the entire movie.
That's so accurate.
It is.
Yeah.
You said people shit on you for comparing things to food? This is great.
Yeah. I mean that's probably the best one though. So I'm just gonna stay at the top here for a second.
That's fantastic. That's a great comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So copyrighted, yeah. If you guys want to talk about movies about Venom and say that, credit to me.
sure,
Humble
I'll
brag.
if we ever talk about Venom again,
All right.
which
Sounds good.
who knows, might be another news story coming out somewhat soon. But
Yeah.
So I'm looking
Slushy.
forward to it just to see Carnage. You guys don't really care. I completely get that.
Yeah, I hope that they have a new director and new writers, but I'm not sure what they're gonna do there.
Yeah, it's reported, I'm just reading the Screen Rant article now. It's reported that Kelly Marcel would be returning to write the script.
Oof.
So it looks like it's going to have the same screenwriter. I don't know about director.
Mm-hmm. It was Ruben Fleischer for the first one, and
Yeah.
he directed Zombieland, I think.
Yes, I
and
believe
The
so.
Mule. Yeah,
Oh, the Mule.
or not The Mule.
No, the Mule is
He must
Clint
have been.
Eastwood.
Yeah, he must have been involved in it. It says on Google.
I'm,
Might have produced it.
I'm looking up the IMDb right now. If I could spell Venom correctly, I just misspelled Venom 4 times.
That's pretty rough.
5 letters.
Shut up, Mara. So let's see, director.
Yeah, just make sure you type The Mule right.
I don't know if I'll actually look up his association with
I'm crazy. I'll just say I'm crazy. I don't know.
So yeah, he directed Venom. He directed Gangster Squad. That movie was not good. 30 minutes or less. That's like an action comedy. Is that Aziz Ansari? Yeah, it's Aziz Ansari and Jesse Eisenberg. Not interested. Zombieland. He's directing the Zombieland sequel, and that's about it for feature films. Oh, wait, it looks like he's going to be directing the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde movie for the Dark Universe, which everyone cares about.
So apparently Ruben Fleischer was supposed to direct The Mule, but it ended up being Clint Eastwood.
But he was still an executive producer
Yeah,
on The Mule. I see that now.
there you go.
So yeah, that's the Venom sequel that,
Yeah, I
So
think that's the best way to describe it.
yeah, just So next up we've got, I'm gonna switch things around a little bit here. I was gonna go to that one thing, but I'm not gonna go to that yet, just so we keep all the Marvel stuff in one place.
I was gonna
Alright.
go to that one thing.
What one thing?
I was just saying what you said.
Oh, okay.
You're so ambiguous.
Pronoun game.
Yeah, whatever. We'll get to that story after this. Black Cat's gonna have a movie, or what? Sony has plans for a Black Cat movie.
Oh,
Wait, is this live action or animated?
Live action.
Live action.
Are you looking at the Screen Rant picture?
Yeah, but I think it would be cool if it was animated.
It would be cool, but it's probably gonna be live action. Oh, I guess they want Silver Sable to be in it too.
See that?
Is this just gonna be? Oh no, they're gonna have solo films for each. Never mind. Yeah, they're each gonna have a solo film. So basically, this is just gonna be the storyline from the Spider-Man video game.
Freaking good game.
It's a great game.
Oh my god.
I don't give two shits about either of these movies.
yeah. I don't either. I think I really don't like it when Sony just plucks random characters, mostly villains, and they're like, let's just make a movie about it.
Yeah,
I think they should have some intention behind the kind of movies they're making, or at least make it like substantial.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't really care about this movie at all.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, Black Cat's a cool character. She's never really been seen in a live action Spider-Man movie.
I think they teased it in Amazing Spider-Man.
Amazing
2?
Spider-Man 2, Felicia
With
Hardy
Felicity
was
Jones.
in it. Yes.
Yeah.
Felicia Hardy was in the movie, but she never played Black Cat. Or she never turned into Black Cat. So, like, it's been teased. Thank God there wasn't an Amazing Spider-Man 3.
Oh man, that would have been a mess.
But I hate that movie.
Tom Holland's the savior.
Yes.
Bet your ass he is. Fuck Andrew Garfield. Yeah, The Social
Looking like-
Network. That was it, buddy.
He was in
Yeah,
Social
like-
Network?
Yes.
He was great in The Social Network.
I
Ver-
haven't seen that movie since I was young, so I don't
Yeah,
remember.
very good in Social Network.
He wasn't a very relatable teen, believe it or not. He just looked like a 30-year-old man just walking through a high school campus.
He's also the worst Peter Parker. Why was he so
Yeah.
cool?
He stuttered, and then that made him not cool.
I don't know why they thought he would be a good Peter Parker.
Like, he skateboards. Like,
He
skateboarding's
was like
cool.
a grunge cool Peter Parker.
Yeah, it was stupid. That entire movie was stupid. I don't give a shit about Peter Parker's parents.
Yeah. They're like, it's like a super James Bond spy movie for like the first 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Not 20, like 10.
It was
but still.
awful. Fuck both those movies. That's my position. We're a firmly anti-Amazing Spider-Man podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, don't care about Black Cat. Well, actually, no. I care about Black Cat. I like the character. But
Honestly, I would throw it on Netflix or something like that instead of
Ooh.
making it a movie.
I would absolutely watch a Black Cat series on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I would too.
from the vein of Daredevil or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Because I don't know if it would get butts in seats for like a movie.
Yeah, I don't think it would. Or even if you're going to make a movie, if you just put the movie on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Why not?
All right,
Although
so
Sony wants all that cash, so I really doubt they do that.
yeah, that's also a fair point. So finally, our last news item is not going to be about Marvel.
I don't think we've had enough Marvel, honestly. We just need to cover some more, man.
So, Spider-Man Far From Home.
That does come out in, pretty soon. Comes out pretty soon. Mara and I are seeing it opening night.
Of course.
Do you have your tickets to see it yet, Noah?
I bought my tickets a month ago. I'm so excited.
Yeah, we got ours a
Yeah, we
month ago
did
too. We got them the day they went on sale. Or no, like the day after they went on sale, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we were very excited to see that movie. But
Jake
anyway,
Gyllenhaal.
oh, fuck Jake Gyllenhaal.
That's awesome.
Non-Marvel news. We're breaking off from Marvel. Ron Howard, who directed Solo. Did he direct Apollo 13?
With Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So What a beautiful. I think he directed A Beautiful Mind. What a really
I think
good
he directed
movies.
the Grinch movie.
No,
that
he
was a
did
misfire.
not.
Oh, he didn't?
Oh, wait, the live action one. Yes.
Yeah, the
I was thinking
live action.
the new animated one.
No.
But yeah, so Solo, a Star Wars Story, Apollo 13, like you said, The Grinch, Frost Nixon, The Da Vinci Code, A Beautiful Mind, Backdraft, Splash, which that movie isn't very good. He directed a movie called Grand Theft Auto. He also starred in that movie. 1977, huh? Anyway, very accomplished director, Hollywood legend. Some may know him
Narrator
as...
for Arrested Development.
He is the narrator for Arrested Development. His brother's also in Arrested Development a couple times. Clint Howard, he's like the ugly weasel-looking guy that's in every Ron Howard movie. He's Ron Howard's Rob Schneider.
Ah, yes.
How Rob Schneider's in every Adam Sandler movie, Clint Howard's in every Ron Howard movie.
He just stumbled on set and was like, oh, we have to film some stuff. Here we go.
Yeah. He's directing his first animated movie, which is pretty big, I guess. You know, animated movies are becoming more and more, like a lot more of them are being made now than ever before, I think, in the past few years, just because of how far animation's come.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not since like the golden days of Disney, I would say there were possibly more animated movies made. But
Yeah.
it's going to be called The Shrinking of Treehorn. And the plot is it's a young boy called Treehorn who begins shrinking.
Wow. I did not see that coming.
And he doesn't know why. So he's trying to figure out why he's shrinking.
Oh my god.
Why is this
Take
a
all my
movie?
money.
I didn't read the plot summary until now. This is so stupid.
That is so bad.
Everything you said just shocked me. I did not see that coming from the title.
No.
This is such a stupid movie.
I mean, I saw
Jesus.
the name coming, but that was it.
Wow.
Yeah. How exciting.
Damn it, Ron Howard.
Why? I mean, after I didn't like Solo at all.
I
So
did.
this is I think it's been kind of downhill for him for a while, unfortunately.
I think Solo is a very fun movie. That's what
I'm going to compare it to a food right now.
I'm
feeling it.
A Noah Lyons food comparison.
Yes, okay. This is my second one so far. I don't know if this is going to top the first one, but
I doubt it.
it's kind of like an English muffin that's been sitting on like your counter for like a couple days. It's not toasted, it's not buttered, there's nothing on it. It's just an English muffin. It's not fresh. It's just like, okay, this is carbs. Like this, I was in the theater for 2 hours and I didn't hate myself for it, but that was nothing.
Okay. I mean, that's probably a good comparison for you, but like I said, I like Solo. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I didn't hate Alden Ehrenreich, which I expected to.
Yeah, he was a lot better than I thought he was going to be.
Donald Glover was incredible as Lando.
That robot just made me want to.
Oh, that robot made me want to
Leave
shoot
the theater.
myself.
Yeah,
But what is it?
That was rough.
L3 or whatever, L370.
Yeah.
Like,
how funny saying the same joke again.
yeah, we get it. You're trying to pass on an empowerment message by doing it with a robot in a Star Wars movie.
Mm-hmm. That was just way overplayed.
Yeah, it was. And that's why I don't think Solo is a great movie. I think it's a fun movie. To use this term I've heard before, it's a good popcorn movie.
Yeah.
You know, just sit
I
down,
agree.
turn your brain off for a couple hours and enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Solo is. So I'm completely out on this new Ron Howard animated movie. I'm mad I read the plot summary. Didn't I do this in episode 1 too, where I read a plot summary and then I was like, why? Oh, it was the
8-Ball?
Magic 8-Ball movie, yeah.
People.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's use the 8-Ball to see if this movie is going to be good. Wait, I'm shaking
Oh, yeah,
it.
wait.
I'm shaking it.
I'll get my,
Oh, wait, you
I'll
can
get my
shake it.
8-Ball.
No, you shake it. Yeah, you got it.
Nope, still going to stink.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Just want to check.
That's going to be a new running bit.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna.
Mark, you can't say that. Ugh.
Sure, I can.
No, you can't. You gotta just let it happen.
Whatever. That's
Mark
news.
doesn't know anything about entertainment.
That's news. So it's time to get into our ranking. Like I said, top 10 movies we loved as a kid and just don't like now, or just we recognize are bad. It can be either.
I'm looking forward to this.
Noah, since you're our guest, we'll have you go first.
All right.
Mara,
So-
you can go second, and then I'll go last.
So at number 10, this is a movie that I didn't see when I was a very young kid, but I saw it probably a couple years ago, and it's White Chicks. So
Ooh.
yeah, pretty underrated, but also bad. It has, oh man, I am really blanking on his name right now.
The Wayne
I know Terry-
brothers.
The Wayans brothers, yes.
Yeah, Marlon and Sean.
Yes, and then there's one scene where Terry Crews sings 1,000 Miles, and I will stand by that scene being the pinnacle of cinema. But the rest of the movie, it's pretty rough, but when I first watched it, I thought it was hilarious.
Is it safe to call that a racist movie?
Yeah. I don't
They're
know.
in whiteface the entire movie.
If I watched it again, I probably would think it's a bit problematic. So I'm just gonna leave it in the vault of my memories of me laughing and just not revisit it.
That's one of those ones. It's like some of the spoof movies where like you can tell it's bad, but you also laugh at it.
Yeah,
It's not a bad.
I have another one. I have another one on the list that's very similar to that one. We'll get
Okay.
into that later.
Yeah, so we're not gonna go through all 10. We're gonna alternate. So now it's
Yeah.
Mara.
All right. Coming in at number 10, we have a near and dear one for the car wash, Shark Tale.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good
Yes.
pick. That's a really good pick.
That car wash scene will live in my memory forever.
Yep.
Like where they're just playing at the car wash and there's whales going through.
Yeah.
I can't watch that movie through anymore. Like it's painful.
It's
But-
a terrible movie.
But
The animation is just rough.
but that
Oh,
one
yeah.
scene will live on forever.
The fish like looks like Will Smith, and that bothers me.
Yeah. Yes,
That bothers me a lot. Robert De Niro is also in that movie.
Wait, who's
He
Robert
is?
De Niro?
He plays like the mob boss, the Don.
Really?
That's Robert
Jack
De
didn't know
Black's in
that.
it?
Yeah, I'm also looking
Martin
at
Scorsese?
Yeah, Martin Scorsese is a voice in that movie.
What?
Are the
Ziggy
voices?
Marley, who's Bob
Angelina
Marley's
Jolie.
son. Angelina Jolie, yeah. She also, her fish also looks like her. She's the main,
Yeah.
like, Lola. Her fish also looks like her, and it bothers me. Renee
I kind of want to
Zellweger.
watch this movie again now that we're talking, but I don't know if that's a good idea.
That's a really good pick.
Yeah.
So my number 10 is some consider it a classic of the 90s. It's got a very good cast in it. A few people that are dead, rest in peace. Steven Spielberg joint, that's Hook.
Oh,
Mm.
I really liked it when I was a kid. I was like, oh, Robin Williams, yes, the genie. You know, I was like, the genie, that's what the genie looks like. And I rewatched it probably 2 years ago, and I was like, wow, this movie stinks.
I think I just watched it too late because the first time I watched it I was past 10 years old. So I think at that point, like I was kind of digging into movies a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and I just did not like it at all.
Yeah.
But I've heard a lot of people say that it's like one of their favorite childhood movies.
Oh yeah, I
I
loved
stand
it
by it.
as a kid. Yeah, Bob Hoskins is in it. Rest in peace, Bob Hoskins. Mario, you'll live in our hearts forever. Can we talk about, by the way, in the Super Mario Brothers movie, Mario's name was Mario?
That's his name.
Yeah, it's stupid.
No, like that's like Mario. The character's name is Mario, and then Luigi's
Yeah.
name is Luigi Mario.
Yeah, it's really stupid.
It's not the
No, I know you're saying like for real. I had forgotten about that. I know that's in Mario canon.
Yes.
I-
There we go.
I know that's what you're saying. I'm just saying it's still stupid.
You're still painting me right now
Why?
because you're like this.
So you think Mario is an acceptable name?
Yes. For a plumber that has that big of a mustache.
Okay, whatever. No more Super Mario Brothers talk. Noah, you're number 9.
All right, so this one is kind of close to my number 8. So I don't know if you want me to do both of them because they kind of combine.
My number 8 is actually a combined pick, so
Yeah, so I'll just go both.
Yeah,
Number
do it.
9, Monsters vs. Aliens.
okay.
Oh yeah.
I thought this movie was like groundbreaking when I first watched it. Susan, good joke. Good cast. Who do we have here? We have Reese Witherspoon, Hugh Laurie, Seth Rogen, Will Arnett, Stephen
Yeah.
Colbert. Gosh, that
Seth Rogen.
that's some horrifying character designs. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I thought it was great. I mean, it's like one of the DreamWorks like crappy movies that they just kind of put out, but
So every
at the
movie
time-
since Shrek.
unfortunately, Shrek 2, that's a good
Shrek
movie.
2, yeah.
I will stand by that. I think it's almost better than the first one, but that's a topic for another time. Number 8.
Absolutely.
Robots. I believe it's Robots with a Z.
Yes.
Yeah, this movie was
Are you
super
talking
weird.
about the one like with the robot that like is blue?
Yes.
Oh, it's actually
It
actually
isn't
with
with
an
a
S.
Z.
It's with an
Yeah.
S. Yeah, it's with an S.
Yeah, from 2005. That movie was just crazy.
That's one I
Then he
should
had
put on
Aunt-
my list. It's not on my list,
Aunt
but I
Fanny.
agree.
It's
Aunt
it's
Fanny
my number
was,
9
like,
too.
an absolute like, or I'm just gonna say it. She was thick. This movie. It's like people say Mrs. Incredible is like the best animated character in that realm, but I'm saying Aunt Fanny.
Oh my god.
Just look up a picture.
Oh yeah.
No, I know who you're talking about. I don't need
She was
a
knocking
picture.
stuff over, just walking around. I've already made a fool of myself, so let's just move on.
Mara, you're number 9.
It was robots.
Yes,
Yeah.
great minds think alike.
All right, so yeah, nothing else to be said there. Or do you have any other comments?
I have a fun story about this. This is the movie that I watched as they pricked my back for allergy testing.
Ouch.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then I sat there with my back just itching for like an hour watching robots.
That's rough. That's really rough.
But, you know, it still holds that small place in my heart.
So we'll do this. I'll do my number 9, then Mara, you do your number 8, then I'll do my number 8, and then we're all back on track.
Yes.
So my number 9 is Richie Rich,
Mm,
Macaulay Culkin.
yes.
I loved this movie so much. Like, I don't know what it was. It's one of those movies where I watched this like every 2 weeks
Oh,
growing up.
I don't know if
And
that's healthy.
it's not. But I rewatched it I think 5 years ago, and I was like, why did I like this movie? I was a stupid kid. That's what it boils
It's okay.
down to. I'm a stupid adult, and I was a stupid kid.
We've all
I
been
think
there.
that just summarizes to you're stupid.
Oh yes, absolutely. That's the point I was trying to get across. So, Mara, you're number 8.
My number 8 is Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius.
Oh,
Good
This
one.
is a movie that I absolutely loved as a kid, and then I watched it last year. I made all my friends watch it with me, and it was just awful, but it was
That-
great at the same time.
that's not on my list because I still love that movie.
I still love it, but I can admit that it's pretty bad.
Hello, Toast. Oh man, I'm surprised it's on your list actually.
What, in is it the sense that it being bad or me liking it?
No, I'm surprised that made an appearance on a list because that's one of those ones I don't know. I just love it so much. Like I refuse to acknowledge that it's bad. I swear that that's a good movie. Like,
I have not seen it, but I have. I don't know how this happened, but I stumbled across the song "Redbone" sung by Carl Weezer
Oh,
on
yep,
YouTube.
with the
Yep.
croissant.
Yep.
Yes, I think that was one of the best videos ever made. So I just want to throw that in
I
there.
send that to people way too often.
you've said that
Yeah.
to me multiple times.
Yes. It's like, would you like a quack, 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 quack?
Uh,
Oh my goodness.
So, like I said, my number 8 is like a combination of two movies because I couldn't separate these two. It's Batman Forever and Batman and Robin.
Ooh.
The good old George Clooney and the good old Val Kilmer Batman.
Yeah. I watched Batman and Robin with my twin brother, and he fell asleep about an hour in, and I just suffered through the whole thing. And I watched it like 2 years ago, so I have no nostalgia for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I did enjoy it a little bit just because everything they did, they messed up. So it's almost charming that they tried so hard and failed so spectacularly.
I completely agree. I personally like Batman and Robin a little more than I like Batman Forever. Strictly for Arnold Schwarzenegger
Yes,
as
the
Mr.
puns.
Freeze.
Oh my gosh.
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. Fantastic line.
All right, everybody,
Wrote Arnold
chill.
Schwarzenegger, whoever wrote Arnold Schwarzenegger's dialogue in that deserves an Oscar. Because I think those are some of the funniest shit puns I've ever heard.
Yes.
And,
So many dad jokes in that movie just thrown in there.
and also the part
Love
where Batman takes out his like Bat credit card, and
That was the first thing I remembered when he said that. Batman and Robin.
that's actually Batman Forever.
Or Batman Forever, yeah.
Or no, it is Batman and Robin. I always get them confused.
It's
because
okay.
I was looking at the Batman Forever IMDb and talking about Batman and Robin. But yeah, and it just says never leave the cave without it. And I'm just like, oh, shut up. And fun fact, that movie's the reason why I love George Clooney.
Really?
That was like the first George Clooney movie I saw, and I was like, oh, this guy's great. And I realized that that's not the reason I should be saying George Clooney's great. But yeah, so those two are my number 8. Back to you, Noah. What's your number 7?
I just want to throw in an honorable mention before I go to my number 7. Over the Hedge. That's a good movie.
Oh yeah.
It's terrible, but the soundtrack's good. And there are some iconic scenes in there. So my number 7, a lot of people, they say Disney Channel movies, the best ones, High School Musical. Some people will say Lemonade Mouth. There's a couple others, but my favorite is Halloween Town.
Halloween Town.
It's the best Halloween movie. When I was a kid, I was like, this is amazing. Good spooky vibes when you're a kid, but then when you watch it again, you're like, this was pretty awful across the board. But I have so much nostalgia for it. So that's why it gets number 7 on my list.
That's a good pick. Fun fact, I just took a screenwriting class, and my professor wrote the script for one of the sequels.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that good or bad?
Bad. Should not be included on a resume.
Yeah.
But
That's one of those movies I saw so many times, but I was never really too infatuated by.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good pick. It's a solid pick. How about you at 7, Mara?
At 7, I have Blank Check. Do you know that movie?
No, I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, me neither.
Basically, this like guy, hits this kid's bike, and then they're like the same guy who's like, I can't remember what he was doing, but he was doing something bad with like $1 million at a bank. And so then he hands this kid a blank check and says, "Give this to your dad. He'll know what to do." And he doesn't give it to his dad. Moral of the story. And he puts $1 million on it. Then he goes to the bank, cashes in the check, and the guy at the bank that the man who hit him was working with thought that this was this guy's like secret way to get the $1 million. Like no one will ever suspect the kid. And then his kid just cashes in $1 million and like buys a mansion, and it's pretty good, but it's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's a Disney movie.
Is it? I don't remember. It was on Netflix. I watched it like 2 years ago, and I'm like, what? Why did I like this?
I've never heard of that movie.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember that so much as a kid. It's like
got 9% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It just everything he does in that movie is stuff that I wish I could have done as a little kid.
The guy that directed it is most well known for directing NWA and MC Hammer music videos. He actually directed, fun fact, he directed the Straight Outta Compton music video.
Wow, that's a interesting range he's got there.
That's actually insane.
Yeah.
Rupert Wainwright.
Yeah, there's also like a really weird relationship in this movie with like this like full-on woman.
Oh.
Like gives me like B-movie-esque vibes.
Oh.
So that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Okay.
And also like when he's writing the check, he's working on a Macintosh he types it up and then prints it.
Mm-hmm.
And so he makes his name Mr. Macintosh.
Jesus.
Nice.
It's
Quality.
everything I wish my childhood could have been.
So my number 7 might be an unpopular pick because it's a Pixar movie,
Oh.
Boy.
and that is Cars.
Oh.
Oh. Interesting.
Now, there's a lot of things to like about Cars. I think it can be fun, but looking back, first of all, Mater is like the most annoying character in movie history. He's up there with Jar Jar Binks. And
You're not
Pretty
wrong.
sure Mater just is you as a car.
what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You're not Larry the Cable Guy. First of all, no, that is just Larry the Cable Guy in car form.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
You're like Mater's cousin.
Okay, I'll accept that. The best comparison Mara's ever given me is before I saw Moana for the first time. She was like, "Oh, Mark, you have to watch Moana," and I was like, "Oh, is it good?" And she was like, "Yes, but you are the chicken." And I had no idea what that meant. And I watched Moana, and I just texted her like a quarter of the way through the movie, and I was like, "You're absolutely right."
Nice.
But yeah, Cars, Pixar. It's sort of a misstep with that one. Also, the sequels stink.
Cars 2 is terrible.
So is Cars 3. I've seen them all. They're all terrible.
I didn't see Cars 3. I don't think I had enough effort to go to the theater for that one.
Yeah, it's bad.
I was trying to watch it on Netflix last year, and my roommates kept interrupting me, and I was very upset.
So yeah, Cars, not good movies. Number 6, Noah.
The SpongeBob SquarePants movie.
Die. That's a
It's not
great
bad. I'm not
movie.
saying it's bad. Is it good?
Yes,
Huh.
absolutely.
Yeah, there's so many memes that just came from the movie, and yeah, I just had to put it on the list. I had to give it some recognition in some way.
The Hoff. The freaking
David
Hoff.
Hasselhoff.
Yes, that was the best part of the movie, for sure. Yeah, I mean, that was one of the movies on the list where I still stand by saying it's a good movie. But I think the goggles I had on as a child, where everything was amazing, may have blinded me a little bit towards it.
That's fair.
Maybe I'll have to watch it again.
That's fair. I still get a lot of enjoyment out of that movie. I think it's good.
And the sequel isn't too bad either.
No, the sequel's solid.
Yeah,
Not
it's
as
only
good,
like an hour
but-
20 or something. It's like really short.
Yeah. So okay, yeah, that's Noah's very controversial number 6.
I'm very excited for my number 5. I just want to throw that out there.
So Mara, what's yours?
Number 6, I have Casper.
Oh, good
Uh,
pick.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that one.
Yeah, I didn't either.
That movie, I remember thinking like Casper was like a person for a little while, and then realizing that he was a ghost. Because like I watched this one when I was very young.
Mhm.
It took me a while to realize he was a ghost. Basically, moral of the story.
What a
Even
good,
though
what a good actors in that movie. Bill Pullman, Christina Ricci, Eric Idle of Monty Python fame.
yeah,
Ben
but
Stein,
Casper's personality in that movie, 100%.
100% what?
Just 100%.
All right, more riveting analysis from Mara. Also, Mr. Rogers was in that movie.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, apparently, I'm assuming the kid might have been watching Mr. Rogers or something, but yeah, he's on the cast list. So my number 6 is actually it's a Christmas movie. It's Elf.
Oh my gosh. That's legitimately top 20 all time for me. I'm sorry.
I strongly dislike Elf.
I don't
Ooh.
like Elf.
That's brutal.
I don't think it's aged well. I loved it as a kid. I thought it was hilarious. The funniest scene in that movie is when he's at the mall and finds out Santa is gonna be there.
You smell like beef and cheese. You're not Santa.
Well, no, not even that. Just when he finds out Santa's gonna be there, just Santa!
Oh,
Oh my God, I know him! Like that entire thing is the funniest scene in that movie for me. Like a lot of it just didn't hold up. I don't know. I'm not an elf guy.
I'm
So
not a huge fan of that movie either.
Man,
yeah, I loved it as a kid, but I don't know. Just something.
I've watched it every single year, ever since I first watched it. And to be honest, like it never gets old for me. I just love it so much. Also, the one line of dialogue that like I didn't understand when I was a kid, that when I heard it again, it just killed me. Was this place reminds me of Santa's workshop, except it smells like mushrooms and everybody looks like they want to hurt me. And just Will Ferrell's like delivery on those lines is just perfect.
Yeah,
I can see how people would think it's a little too cheesy or dated, but
yeah,
that's just it has a special place in my heart.
no, I get that. It just doesn't do it for me anymore.
Yeah.
So getting into the top 5, this is
Yes.
hallowed ground. So Noah, why don't you start us off?
So this one, I thought that people didn't like it, but people kind of like it. It's got 70% audience score.
Mhm.
This movie is one of the only movies I can remember when I was a kid that just brought me to tears every single time I watched it. Bridge to Terabithia.
See, I never liked that movie.
I don't know if it was good, but there's that scene at the end of the movie that just like it wrecks me.
When I was a kid, I didn't like sad movies. So I was like, this is sad, I don't like it. But now looking back, I have no feelings on that movie.
Yeah, I think that
Like what happened? Like
Didn't she die? She died.
yeah, she
died, yeah.
but she just like
That's-
walked across a bridge, but like I didn't understand what was going on as a kid. So
yeah, it was kind of a communal experience though. Like, I think it's just like I think I watched it with my brothers and we all just cried and we're like, we're not going to talk about this after this. We're not going to say that we cried, but I'm saying it on a podcast now, so I've obviously broken that.
Yeah, the Lyons family are all a bunch of wusses.
yeah,
Then we have a lot of
like,
wusses.
Josh Hutcherson participate in like a race at some point? That's pretty much all I remember.
All I remember was a bridge and tears.
Yeah,
I just
all I
remember him
remember
like
is the
having
bridge
his
scene.
sneakers and like being really ready for this race and
Yeah.
something like that.
But I feel like that might be an unpopular pick just because a lot of people still like that movie.
Yeah, it's got
Not for a lot of
85%
people.
on
Yeah.
critics score, so
Um,
that's been number 5.
yeah, Mara, what's yours?
Movie very near and dear to my heart, one that I reference often, especially as of last year. Rookie of the Year.
Ooh, that's a
good
great one. I
pick.
would have had that in my top 5.
That's a great pick. I'm mad I didn't think of that.
Yeah, I sprained my shoulder last year, for anyone who doesn't know.
Yeah.
And so I just kept making references to as soon as I get out of this sling, you're gonna catch me in the MLB.
That was that's a bad movie.
It's so bad, but I loved it so much.
Yeah,
I loved it so much too.
I think, let's see, it's got a 35% on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, that's...
Okay,
What?
I'm trying to find who plays the supporting character. Daniel Stern, I think. Oh, and it was Gary Busey.
Yeah,
Gary
Oh,
Busey
yeah.
was
Yep.
awesome in that movie.
Gary
Chewing up
Busey's
all
just
the scenery.
awesome.
Just in general, yeah. It
Yeah. Yeah, good
Yeah, that
old
movie-
Thomas Ian
that was-
Nichols, Henry Rowan Gardner.
was pretty awful, but you know, I love it. That's a great pick right there.
That is a great pick. I have another. It's not on my list, but I'm going to say this right now. Another baseball movie for me is The Scout. With Brendan Fraser. If either of you have seen that movie,
I haven't. I've heard of it
I
though.
don't think so.
not good at all.
22%.
Yeah, it's awful. But I watched it a bunch as a kid. I have it
I
on
looked up The
VHS
Scout.
actually.
I looked up The Scout and went to images, and the first image is of the movie, and then all of the other ones are of the TF2 character.
That's funny. But my number 5, and actually this was originally going to be my number 4, but I decided to swap these two, is Chicken Run. Did either of you ever see Chicken Run?
I did. Chicken Run, yeah. It's It's animated by the same guys who did
yeah.
Wallace and Gromit.
Wallace and Gromit. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that.
What a dark movie.
It's got 97% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it's got a 7 on IMDb. That's really surprising. Also, Mel Gibson is the main character. I had no idea.
Yikes.
Speaking of problematic.
Hey kids, you want to see Mel Gibson in a movie?
But yeah, that's just like really dark. Like they're all gonna die and be put into stew. Like this just.
It's pretty morbid.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's.
I'm not a big fan. Another Wallace and Gromit style movie that would be up there for me is Flushed Away, but it's not on my list.
Oh yeah, that was close for me.
Yeah.
I had this theater nearby my house when I was a kid, and they played like movies when they're out of theaters. I think they played Flushed Away for like 3 or 4 months. Like it was ridiculous. Every single time I went there, Flushed Away, Flushed Away, Flushed Away.
It just. Oh my God, Flushed Away was basically an
I
X-Men
remember
movie.
Flushed Away. I remember
Yeah.
that.
Hugh Jackman was the main character and Ian McKellen was the villain. This is an X-Men movie. This is part of the X-Men universe.
It's oh my gosh, they're gonna reveal it. They're gonna make a sequel to it, and it's gonna be like split, connected universe.
Any
Unbreakable.
other X-Men actors? Is Kate Winslet in an X-Men movie?
I don't know.
Jean
think so.
Reno's an Iron Man. So there's another Marvel connection. I think he's an Iron Man, isn't he? Isn't he the? Nope, he's not. I was wrong. Never mind. That just seemed kind of racist. I thought he was the guy that's in the cave with Tony Stark. He's not. Whoops.
Moving on.
We're just gonna ignore
go,
that.
Mark.
Noah, you're number 4.
So I'm gonna lighten things up a little bit right now. Space Jam is my number 4.
No.
Nope. Mara and
Nope.
I each have
Nope.
Space Jam posters in our room.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We do not tolerate any Space Jam slander.
I actually still enjoy it. Is it as good as I thought it was when I first watched? Am I excited for the second
better.
movie? Yes.
I also think it's better.
I think it's better than when I watched it.
I
as a kid.
enjoy it more now than when I watched it as a kid, yeah.
Also, apparently, Stephen Curry turned down a cameo in Space Jam 2.
Yeah, he's
More
got
you
too
know.
much work on Holy Moly.
Guess so.
That's a show Mara watches that Steph apparently produces.
He's also in it.
Yeah.
He makes like celebrity appearance where he like
Oh, wait, yeah,
does
the
like a
golf
nice
show.
golf shot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot that was the golf show. Yeah. He
Yeah.
he played in a couple of PGA Tour events.
Yeah, he's like
Very good golfer.
surprisingly good. Surprisingly good.
Yeah. Also, every baseball joke that was put into Space Jam was absolutely hilarious with Michael Jordan.
Oh, 100%.
I'll start that in there.
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
perfect. I
absolutely.
was surprised that he like slandered him that much.
Yeah. Michael
So
Jordan,
yeah,
bad baseball
That's been
player.
that's a controversial number 4 for me, but yeah, Space Jam's up there.
All right, Mara, you're number 4.
All right, we're moving into Mara's VHS era. Max Keeble's Big Move.
What?
I
Do you
did not know that movie
this?
existed.
Mara's got deep cuts on this list.
This was a movie that I've seen so many times strictly for the fact that I owned it on VHS, and it's got Josh Peck in
Josh
it, right?
Peck is in it. Yeah.
Josh Peck. I just remember this movie so much, like
The-
the whole like construction site scene and like spaghetti or whatever that gets them all like the food fight. It's
The director is the main writer for SpongeBob.
Really?
Tim Hill. He wrote the movie. He's been on the show all 20 years. That's
The more you know.
yeah, wow.
all right.
So
I think my favorite thing about the movie is that the the evil guy's name is literally just Evil Ice Cream Man.
oh my god. Oh yeah, I see that. Jamie
It's
Kennedy.
creative.
They didn't give him a name.
Oh, and he's in Son of the Mask too. Oh god. Oh god.
Yeah.
Son of the Mask, awful.
I've seen this movie so many times though, like it's uncountable. If you have a VHS player and you want to watch it, hit me up.
All right. Just ship it over to Good old California.
Yeah. All right,
So what's your number 4?
Yeah, my
Mark?
number 4 is the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie.
I've never seen that.
Mara and I are big
I'm ashamed
Power
to say
Rangers
that.
fans.
Yeah, you see, I was gonna put that.
I thought the
one
new
on my
movie
list.
was good.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
the
enjoyed the
movie's
new
I
movie.
enjoyed it a lot.
100%.
Mara and I said we were going to slap people to space for like 3 months after that
Oh,
movie came
and we
out.
still bring it up every now and then.
Yeah, but we
The
said
new-
it all the time.
Oh yeah.
The new movie, it was basically The Breakfast Club meets like the X-Men, I guess.
Kind
It
of.
was like a weird combination, but it kind of worked.
Yeah, we like the new one, but God, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. Oh my lord. I watched
I was gonna
it.
put it on there, but I remember the TV show a lot more than I remember the movie. So
Well, yeah, and I have the VHS, and I loved it as a kid, but I watched it the night before we saw Power Rangers. Holy mother of God, that movie's awful. The main villain, Ivan Ooze.
It's a great name.
Oh Jesus, it was just. Hold on, I gotta. I can't think of who played Ivan Ooze. It's actually like someone kind of famous, I think. Yeah, his name was Paul Freeman. He played the villain in Raiders of the Lost Ark, Balak. Noah, you picking up what I'm putting down?
What?
He played the villain in Raiders of the Lost Ark, Balak.
Oh man, I'm not picking up on this. I don't know.
You've never seen Raiders of the Lost Ark?
I've seen it. I'm just struggling.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so the guy was actually kind of famous, and he was in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. He was also in Hot Fuzz.
Oh, it's a great movie.
It is a very funny movie.
I think that's Edgar Wright's best movie.
Ooh,
I don't know if it's controversial or that.
ooh, that's kind of a hot take, just because a lot of people like Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, I watched that one on Netflix recently. It's a good one.
Yeah, I would
That's
say
definitely my brother's favorite.
my favorite Edgar Wright movie is Baby Driver.
Oh yeah,
I love
good
Baby
one.
Driver. Scott Pilgrim's up there. Hot Fuzz is up there. His movies are just good. He just makes good movies. Shaun of the Dead. Just Edgar Wright. Good director.
I really wished I saw the version of Ant-Man that he was working on
Oh, me
instead
too.
of Peyton Reed's.
I mean, I like Ant-Man. I like the first.
I liked it,
quite a
but
bit actually.
I just couldn't help thinking like, if Edgar Wright could have finished this would have been like ridiculously good.
Yeah. So yeah, my number 4, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. Noah, number 3.
This is a movie that I thought was the funniest thing ever when I first watched it, but looking back at it, it's just a lot of poop and fart jokes. The Benchwarmers.
Ooh.
Yeah. I thought it was hilarious.
I still get a few laughs out of the Benchwarmers, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the guy who's I'm blanking on the name, but the guy who's like afraid of the sun,
Yeah.
That guy's hilarious.
and then he comes up to play, and he has to bat with the sword.
Yeah.
And he eats sunscreen at the end. Like that kind of stuff is just so
The
dumb.
I am 12
Yeah,
birth
it's a
certificate.
good gag.
Yeah. But okay, yeah, I see that. I see that though, because it's not a good movie.
Yeah, and Rob Schneider like is kind of bad in it, but also oddly
Not
better than his other movies.
Yeah.
Not obnoxious. I think that's what he did a
Yeah.
good job in.
Yeah, it's not
Um,
like Deuce Bigelow.
Yeah, Clark the Dork is the best character in that movie. He's the best.
Oh yeah. Oh, hands down.
Yeah, there's some very quotable lines, but that movie is awful. I was watching YouTube clips of like the funniest moments, and I didn't laugh once watching it again. It's kind of rough because the first time I watched it, I was like,
Yeah, it's hilarious the first time you watch it.
mm-hmm.
All right,
whole I am 12 thing.
that is fun.
That will always hold up.
Yeah.
That.
Okay, Mara, number 3.
Number 3, alright. Bear with me on this one. There's like a 99% chance you don't know it. The Wacky Adventures of Ronald McDonald, The Legend of Grimace Island.
Wow, that's a title for a.
Yes. It came out in 1999, another movie I had on VHS. It's just this The
Where
whole
did you
thing's
get
on
your
YouTube, by the
VHS
way,
movie?
if you want to watch it.
I'm-
I really don't remember much about it, other than like there's like a pirate ship, and I'm just kind of assuming this movie is bad now because there's no way that it's good. But I remember watching this so many times as a kid.
That's a great. You seriously are taking out the deep cuts for this.
You are.
Holy shit!
I picked the
Like,
most
just got
basic
the
ones
hamburger
possible. This is
learning.
crazy.
Yeah, like mine. I feel like I thought like Elf that was gonna be a conversation starter and shit. Mara's like the wacky adventures of Ronald McDonald.
No, the
The
weirdest thing about this movie by far is that it starts out live action, like for like a half of like probably like 2 minutes with like Ronald McDonald and all the weird makeup, and then becomes an animated movie that that I think Ronald McDonald is watching about himself.
Oh my god!
Like that's by far the
That's-
weirdest part.
There's one review on IMDb, and I'm going to read this.
One review.
It's a 10 out of 10. It's titled Self-Education.
Okay.
And here's the review. How are there no reviews for this? I am constantly raving about this film to all my friends. A lot of times they don't know what Grimace even is. I'm like, hello, it's the purple dude from McDonald's. Duh. I'm a McDonald's regular. All the employees at my local Mickey D's. That's what the cool kids call it. In parentheses. Know me by name. So I just cannot fathom how my friends, in quotes, don't know who Grimace is. Anyway, this movie is superb. This movie is all about coming to terms with your inner self. Grimace must learn to accept who he is. Who he is to become acquainted with his family. Traveling to Grimace Island is a journey within itself. If you enjoyed
You just sold me.
If you enjoyed Atlantis, this movie is a must-see. You will not be disappointed and will learn a lot about yourself in the process. That's the only review of that movie on IMDb, and it's the best movie review I've ever heard.
I want to see this movie now.
Me too.
I have
It's
to
on
see it.
YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Mara, I think we need to do a live watch of that.
All right.
We'll do that. Wow, I don't know if I'm going to be able to follow this up. My number 3 is Meet the Robinsons.
Oh,
That's still a good movie.
No,
All
it's
right.
not.
Yes, it is. I think that movie held up fairly well.
It's been like 5 years since I've seen it again, but it's I didn't think it held up very well.
I think it looks good. Story's good. I think it held up pretty well.
Yeah, I don't have much to say after the wacky adventures of Ronald McDonald, the Legend of Grimace Island.
Yeah. Everything for the rest of the episode is just downhill from that.
Yeah, there's no coming back from that. The fact that wasn't your number 1 is a shame.
That's because it wasn't my like favorite one. You know.
I'm very intrigued what your number 1's going to be now.
Yeah, me too. Holy shit.
Spoiler alert! It's another VHS.
Yeah,
Deep
so
cuts.
Meet the Robinsons. That's all I have to say. I don't think it's great. Noah, you're number 2.
This wasn't intentional, but Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed. This movie, the tension was so palpable as a child. And all those monsters together in one movie, just good stuff. Watching it again, I think every single thing in the movie is terrible, but also I still love it. I don't know.
Yeah, on my original list, I had the original Scooby-Doo on there. But I ended up
and
taking it off.
The soundtrack to Scooby-Doo 2, it's good stuff.
I don't
I'm looking up-
remember a single song in that movie.
I
think
love
I'm-
the Scooby-Doo movies.
Oh, You Get What You Give. That's a good song. That was in there. New Radicals. I think in the first one they played like Nickelback. I don't remember.
Ew.
Yeah. So I actually still would probably watch this movie again, but also hate myself for enjoying it so much when I was a child.
Yeah.
So that's my number 2.
Mara, number 2.
Number 2, we got Agent Cody Banks.
Oh,
Absolutely
yeah.
love
Okay.
this movie.
Yeah, good old
Frankie
Frankie
Muniz, Hilary Duff. greatest combination of all time.
Oh God, I forgot Hilary Duff was in that
Oh
movie.
yeah, Hilary Duff. He's like protecting Hilary Duff the whole time, and
Yeah.
they fall in love, yada yada yada. But like all of his like gadgets sold.
Oh yeah.
And this is a movie that I still enjoy today, but I can acknowledge is very bad.
One of the greatest spy movies of our generation.
Oh, clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much to say about that one. That's a very like that's like what this list is defined as is Agent Cody Banks.
Yeah.
My number 2, Mara, you're gonna hate me.
Oh no.
Spy Kids.
Oh,
Ugh.
why do you have to do that to us?
Yeah.
I loved every Spy Kids movie. Like, and this is the whole franchise. I'm not just talking about the first one. The entire Spy Kids franchise.
Spy Kids 3D though?
George
Don't hit
Lopez.
me in the heart like that.
Spy Kids 3D is like one of Mara's top 10 greatest movies of all time. But yeah,
Tells you when to put the 3D glasses on and everything.
those movies stink. Mara, we talked about
Game
these
over.
movies before, Men in Black.
Oh
Like,
my god.
these movies are awful in my opinion.
I
The
It's
acting
such
is
a-
so bad.
It's so charming. Like Antonio Banderas is in it. George.
Oh, God, yes.
Oh my gosh.
I watched all 3 of them in like 2 days.
Yeah, I
whenever they put them
remember.
on Netflix.
That's why I'm sorry, Mara, but that's my number
This
2.
was like at the start of my finals too.
Wait, Sylvester Stallone was in Spy
Yes.
Kids 3D.
Yes.
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 Oh my gosh.
The one guy too. I can't think of the guy who plays the grandpa's name, but
I don't know either. Elijah Wood showed up. Selena Gomez showed up. Danny Trejo.
Selena Gomez, great cameo.
Steve Buscemi, Cheech Marin.
Steve
Bill Paxton was in it.
Buscemi.
The late great.
Yes.
Oh, Ricardo Montalban. That's he played Khan in Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan.
Ah, yes.
He's also the villain in the first Naked Gun movie, which is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. But yeah, great cast in Spy Kids 3D, but
Yes.
movie stinks.
I just thought of a movie exactly like Spy Kids, but I'm scared that it's going to be either of yours number ones, so I'm not going to say it until after.
It's probably not going to be. It's not my number 1. I'm telling you that right
It's
now.
not my number
Okay.
1.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's what I
Yeah.
was thinking. Right
I
when you
almost
guys did
put
Spy
that on my
Kids.
list, but
Yeah, I almost put it on my list too. It just missed for me.
yeah.
Yeah, same.
So Noah, here it is. Your number 1 movie that you loved as a child and sucks.
Drum roll, please. Sharknado.
You saw
What?
Sharknado's from like 2013.
I know. I don't know. I feel like no. There's been like 5 movies. I think it was
one
like
from
The
2013.
first one's from 2013.
okay. I must have
To
completely.
be fair, you were 11.
Yes, I was
That's
pretty
true.
young.
Yeah.
But it's got just to like give you an outline of like the critical consensus on this. So it's got 82% on Rotten Tomatoes somehow, but the rating on IMDb
It's a
3.3 out of 10. Yeah. So this movie is just like the best schlocky movie ever. The acting is like god awful. The CGI is terrible, but it's so charming. Like the other ones that they made after it didn't land at all. But the first one is just like absolute perfection in my eyes. When I first watched it, watching it again, probably one of the worst movies ever made, but I still love it.
Never forget when Sharknado 4, the poster and title were a complete ripoff of Star Wars The Force Awakens. It was called Sharknado 4, The Fourth Awakens, and the poster is basically the Force Awakens poster.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then the fifth
Exactly
one's
what it
called
is.
It's About Time.
Yeah. No, that's the 6th one.
Okay, when did they make 6 of these?
Sharknado-
How did I miss that?
I don't even know.
Sharknado
I've watched-
5 is called
I watched
Global
every
Swarming.
single one of these.
I really thought there was only like 3.
Yeah.
The third one, Sharknado 3, oh hell no.
Sharknado 2, the second one. Sharknado 3, oh hell no. Great titles.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Great titles. There's also there's a Sharknado. There's like multiple Sharknado spin-off movies.
Mm-hmm.
One of them's a documentary called Sharknado Feeding Frenzy, and then there's a mockumentary called Sharknado: Heart of Sharkness, which is just a rip-off of the Evil Dead Army of Darkness name. So yeah, Sharknado.
Sci-fi.
That's a
More
solid
wonderful.
pick.
Yeah.
Solid pick. Mara, you're number one.
Number 1, got it. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh, I should have known that was your number. Yeah,
Yeah.
you did say, yeah.
Classic 60s movie. I've seen this easily 1,000 times.
Yeah, I haven't seen Chitty Chitty Bang Bang recently enough to put that on my list, but I can see why it's on yours.
Yeah, I another movie owned the VHS, so I just watched it over and over and over again. And I watched it like recently, like I looked it up, and it just wasn't good.
Yeah.
I don't know how. Like the flying car, that's super cool.
Yeah.
But then like the movie just makes no sense.
Oh, absolutely
Like,
none
honestly.
whatsoever.
And like I have vivid memories of them on the beach with like the changing tents and like all the like the stuff he has in his house, like that makes like breakfast for him and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was so cool.
Oh yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Yeah.
Chitty Chitty
Pretty
Bang
solid.
Bang.
So
Number 1 childhood movie overall.
So yeah, that's Mara's number one. My number one, and like I said, I feel like you guys are gonna give me shit for this.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Star
boy.
Wars Episode 2: Attack of the Clones.
Oh, that movie's terrible.
Oh, you went with Attack of the Clones.
Yes, because
Oh my gosh, that relationship between Anakin and Padme was so uncomfortable.
oh my god, it's legitimately it's such a bad movie. I just rewatched all the Star Wars movies, and this one was easily the hardest one to sit through. Even worse than The Phantom Menace.
Yeah, I thought you would have gone with the Phantom Menace if you went for any of them.
No, but this is actually a worse movie. That's why. I also
You just crap on the Phantom Menace like all the time.
I also never really liked The Phantom Menace.
I'm a bit embarrassed to admit that the Phantom Menace used when I was like 8.
Yeah, cut out.
Oh, the first Star Wars movie, Phantom
Yeah.
Menace. When I was a kid, like really young, that was my favorite one. I thought Jar Jar Binks was hilarious, and I watched it again, and I was like, I want to die every time he says anything.
Yeah, like I always found him annoying. So like that's why The Phantom Menace isn't my number one. But I don't know what it was. I loved Attack of the Clones as a kid. Attack of the Clones is the first
a lot of lightsabers.
DVD. The first DVD I wanted my parents to buy me ever. That's like the first movie where I was like, I want this on DVD. And it's funny, I saw Attack of the Clones before I saw the other two prequels.
Oh,
So I watched the original trilogy when I was like 3 or 4. And I was like, oh, I love Star Wars. And then we went and we saw the DVD at like Target. And I was like, oh, look, it's Star Wars. Buy it. And my parents were like, it's episode 2. Don't you want episode 1? And I was like, no, buy it. And I loved Attack of the Clones as a kid so much. I've seen it so many times. My favorite character from Attack of the Clones when I was a kid was Dexter Jetster, the fucking diner owner.
the diner guy? Yeah.
I was like, he's so funny. And then when I watched Attack of the Clones a couple weeks ago, I'm like, why did I like this guy?
How would anybody just like watch the movie and be like, yeah, Dexter Jetster was really the
How did
highlight
you
of it?
pick that out? Like out of all
I don't know. I thought that scene was cool. I was like, look at this. He knows about weapons and he owns a diner. I thought that was the coolest combination ever when I was a kid.
I want to own a diner when I grow up, Mom and Dad.
Yeah, like, I went to a lot of diners as a kid and I thought weapons were cool. I was a simple child. And so I thought Dexter Jetster was awesome, and he stinks.
And he's only in the movie for like, what, 2.5 minutes?
He's one scene.
Maybe.
There's one scene with Dexter Jetster, and he was my favorite character.
Wow. That's pretty unique. I'll say that.
It's very unique.
So yeah, Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. So how about...
Yeah. Watching that again, it's so uncomfortable just watching Hayden Christensen undress Natalie Portman with his eyes. Like,
Oh my god, it's so bad.
oh,
Yeah.
Oh my god. And the sand comment. Oh, Jesus.
I don't like sand.
It's coarse and it's rough and annoying and it gets everywhere. Shut up, Hayden Christensen.
Who's like, imagine if you're just like approving the script and you're like, I think that sand line really needs to make it in there.
That's George Lucas.
Yep.
He is
Too much power.
George. You will forever be in my, in the territory of cinematic gods, in my opinion. But holy shit, did you fuck up the first two prequels? I'm not gonna say the third. I love Episode 3. I still think that's a good movie.
I watched it. I think I watched it too late. I just thought it was too much.
I
Just
like
way too much
Episode
happening.
3. I thought General Grievous was an awesome character. I love the Palpatine storyline. Star Wars Episode 3 is a good movie, in my opinion. So, but the first two, holy shit, man, those are awful.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
So yeah, Noah, recap your top 10.
So let me pull it up real quick. So I got White Chicks at number 10, Monsters vs. Aliens 9, Robots 8, Halloween Town 7, SpongeBob SquarePants Movie 6, Bridge to Terabithia 5, Space Jam 4, Benchwarmers 3, Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed 2, Sharknado number 1.
All right, Mara.
At number 10, Shark Tale. 9, Robots. 8, Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius. 7, Blank Check. 6, Casper. 5, Rookie of the Year. 4, Max Keeble's Big Move. 3, everyone's favorite, The Wacky Adventures of Ronald McDonald, The Legend of Grimace Island. 2, Agent Cody Banks. And number 1, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Before I recap mine, I just have to say, we're going to do like quite a few of these rankings and lists and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
The Wacky Adventures of Ronald McDonald, The Legend of Grimace Island will go down as the best pick in this podcast history.
Can we just say a consensus that that's the number 1, even though we both have seen it, Mark?
Yeah, that's...
Okay.
Number 1.
And so my top 10, number 10, Hook. 9, Richie Rich. Number 8, combined, we have Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. Cars at number 7, Elf at 6, 5, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, 4, Chicken Run, 3, nope, I forgot to change them on my list. It's 5, Chicken Run, 4, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, 3, Meet the Robinsons, 2, Spy Kids, and number 1, Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
Solid.
Only one repeat on all of our lists. That's kind of surprising.
Robots. It brings people together.
It was even at the same place, too.
Yeah. Like, that's... I thought there was going to be quite a few repeats on our lists. But I'm glad there weren't. We all had very unique lists.
Yeah.
God, that Ronald McDonald pick is fantastic. Holy shit.
I'm looking that up on YouTube tonight.
I
have to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell us your thoughts. Because...
Oh, I definitely will.
And leave a review on IMDb so that poor person isn't alone.
We'll make it 2.
Yeah, make it 2. Well, next episode, we'll read your review on IMDb.
All right. Got it.
That'll be a segment in the podcast.
Awesome.
But yeah, I think that does it for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Noah, thank you so much for coming on again.
Of course, anytime.
I'm sure we'll have you back. Remember, that's at Elevator Movie Reviews.
Yes.
On Instagram.
If you guys have seen the account before, or if you're going to see the account, we actually have an awards show that we did for last year's movies. It's called the Dingus Awards.
Oh, really?
Yes. And then we made all of our own categories, made all of our nominations for those categories. A lot of weird categories, not ones that you would see in any other awards show. So we try to keep it fresh. We do a music video in the beginning of it, which is very, but it's for your enjoyment. So if you guys want to check it out, it's on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, I'll have to check that out. So you guys are on Instagram. Do you have Twitter or anything else like that?
Just Instagram. And also in that awards show, we got Hal Rudnick from Screen Junkies, if you guys know who he is.
Yeah.
We DM'd him on Instagram, was like, hey, you want to be in an awards show? And he's like, sure. So he sent in a video, so he's one of the presenters.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it was really surreal, but his part's hilarious, so.
Yeah,
That's probably my favorite part of the whole thing.
I'll have to check out the award show, and everyone else should too.
Sure.
Mara, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I just have one thing to leave people with.
Please be what I think it is. Yes.
Yes.
So rubber chicken, there it is. So thanks everyone so much for listening. We'll catch you on the next episode of The C-Listers.